Hello aspirants, good evening each and every viewer. Welcome to another session with me, Varun on TechTablet. And in today's session, we will be looking at the fifth part of object-oriented ABAP. And I'm sure you must have already covered the past four videos or the last four parts of object-oriented ABAP. So, and I also hope that you're enjoying the presentation. And if in case it's a yes, then you can follow me on my Facebook or on my Instagram on the IDs mentioned below. It's varuna_gemini@yahoo.com if it is Facebook, and it would be varuna_gemini if it is Insta. So all of you who do not know about me, well, this is a bit about me. I am an ABAP UI5 Fiori developer, and currently I am trying to gain knowledge on IoT, artificial intelligence, Python, machine learning, deep learning, probably for Leonardo or data science, not sure, but then yes, it would be one of them. So the agenda of this session would be to look at the interview questions and answers, followed by basic concepts of object-oriented ABAP and how to answer an interview, just like all the previous videos. But then the most important thing is, how do we answer in an interview? See, I know a lot of people, or I would say I have come across a lot of people, excluding me. I have never seen myself doing that, but then I've seen a lot of candidates with okayish kind of knowledge, but they've been able to crack some real good interviews at some real good organizations. And I think that is a trick. It's a code to be cracked. And all those people who've been able to do this, they would find themselves in two positions. A, they would be earning extraordinary salary, or B, they would be finding themselves in extraordinary position. So either which ways, I think communication skill and how you answer the question that's put forth to you, and also the way you answer, like how confident are you about it, how technically sound are you about it, what's your body language when you are answering those questions. Like each and every parameter that I'm talking about would be taken into consideration when you are attending an interview. So guys, please make it a note that when you're attending an interview, you know what you're talking, and you are responsible for each and every word. You're accountable for it. So when an interviewer cross questions you on your answer, you should be able to take care of it. If that's not happening, then I think there is some problem with your preparation. I think there is something lacking in your preparation. So before you go to an interview, cross-check yourself 100 times. Ask your friends to do a cross interview or a dummy interview. You could come up with something like that. Okay, so let us begin without wasting any further time. So what is object-oriented ABAP? What is object-oriented programming in short? So it's basically a problem-solving methodology in which the software solution, it reflects the object in the real world. Now, it is basically a programming language model which is organized around the objects rather than actions, and it's also organized around the data rather than logic. So these are some minute areas where object-oriented makes a difference with the normal programming. What is body and what are body filters? Now, this is an important question. So bodies basically are business add-ins, and they are also enhancements to the standard version of code that is provided by SAP to you, so you can directly use them. Now you have also something which is called as a filter body. Now these may be implemented on the basis of a filter value. So when you have a filter value, you would be able to implement them. Now, if an enhancement for a country specific code is provided for a standard version, it is likely that different partners would want to implement this enhancement, the same enhancement. So each and every country can create and activate their own implementation. So now we have a GST for our country, right? So it is something specific to our own country, but then the rates, or because of this GST effect, we would be seeing that a lot of other prices or other organizations would also getting impacted. So this is a small example that you could refer to. Then the third one is, what is a me variable? So this is also very easily understood, just like how you have a friend class which needs no specific explanation, something, so me variable is something like that. So it's a self-referencing variable. By this we can call methods which are in the same class without creating any object. So you're working less hard in order to achieve the same object as an output. Okay, so the fourth one is, what are the types of objects and classes that we have available? So there are two types of objects and also two types of classes that we have available. So the types of objects would be an instance object A, and B, a static object. And the types of classes would be instance class and also a static class. Now, when you talk of instance object and static object, see, now they are basically, what is the difference between objects and classes is when it comes to visibility, private class, and you have the feasibility of protecting the classes. You can save them from getting exposed to the outer world. Now this is a basic, very basic difference. The next one is, how do we create an object for a class? Well, that's very easy. It's very similar to how we do things in ABAP. If you want to do it, you create a data, you give the reference type to the reference, and you create the object reference. That's it. It's as simple as that. How do you call a method? So you just use this call method, you refer it to the method name. That is also a very simple process. The next one is, what is an abstract class in object-oriented ABAP? Well, it's a class which contains methods with implementation and methods without implementation. So here you would be able to find a combination of both, and it is a class basically which contains at least one abstract method. All right, now what is a functional method? So methods basically which have a returning parameter. So anywhere, now see, what is a return? A return is something that generally assures you an output variable, or that you have an output. For example, in JavaScript or in HTML, you have place at. In JavaScript, you directly use the return. So it's very similar to that. A returning parameter would give you an output. So these methods that we're talking about, the functional method, these methods, they cannot have exporting or changing parameters as well. Both of them would not be found. One is exporting, the second one is changing parameters. But it has importing parameters and the exceptions that are required for your logic, the logic of your program, which is your requirement. Okay. So the ninth one that we have is, what is the difference in attributes between public versus private section of a class? So this is very easy. I think this is a globally known answer. Even a school-going kid should be able to answer this just looking at the terminology. So public classes can be accessed by any class, by any subclass, or by any other classes as well. Whereas private attributes can be accessed only by itself, or you got to create a separate friend class for it. What is an aggregation? So aggregation is a specialized variant of an association, right? So it basically is a composition of an object out of a set of parts. So some parts are removed, and it's these parts, some parts from another object are removed, and it is these parts which are together called as an aggregation. So it's just an aggregate. It's a sum total of all. So when you talk about a bike, you have brakes, you have engine, you have tires, you have accelerator. Now all these are aggregation of a bike. So when you say an aggregation, it means that you possess. So you can say engine is an aggregation of a bike. So it means that a bike possesses an engine. So it basically denotes a has relationship. Okay, now it might be a bit tricky to understand, or it might be a bit tricky to listen to me, but I think it's very easy if you just try to understand the meaning of it. Right? What is an aggregation? Now, all the questions that we've seen in this video are pretty similar, are pretty simple and well known in nature, but then we still make mistakes because of lack of practice probably, or because of various reasons. So next time when you attend an interview, try to look at these answers, try to frame some answers yourself, ask your friends to cross-check how good you are at, and then attend an interview. If in case you like the video, hit the like button, as it would encourage us to make more videos. And if you feel that this video might help at least one aspiring candidate, please do share these videos immediately, as the motive is to help at least a few aspiring candidates who are looking for a job out there, right? And if there's any query that you have, or if you feel that there's anything missing, or if there's anything that's gone wrong, you have the comment section below. Please make a use of it. I think it would help a lot of people. So thanks a lot for being patient. Thank you for being there and watching this video. I also enjoyed that I also hope and expect that you enjoyed watching the video that's being made out of passion. So this is me, Varun, logging off, hoping to see you in the next video with some more information and something more on SAP and other technologies as well. And all the very best to the interview that you're about to appear. This is me, Varun.